Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode 25. We're approaching the end of the season. We still have a little ways to go yet. Technically, it's only week 36, so there definitely is still a ways to go. But of course, you do get the off season included in that for the end of the year. Follow up for hard season, second period. We have Ita junior rankings. She moved up one more spot, now number 5. She picked up a substantial number of points in just 2 tournaments played. She doesn't win either one of them, but she gets pretty dang deep, winning 9 matches, getting 82% win rate. For her in the World Tour, she likewise puts in a strong performance, 7 wins from 9 matches played in 3 tournaments, so she does claim victory in one of those, and that bumps her up now into the top 250 with 65 points won. Kostenseva moving up yet further, now into the top 100 for the first time, 83rd in the rankings presently, 105 points won during that stretch, 101,000 earned as she made her first ever Grand Slam invitation. Tournaments played was 4, one more than the previous period, one more match, 7 wins. She does not win any of the 4, but she gets pretty deep across the board, 70% win rate. And Lowell back down a bit. She's now 57th in the rankings, 5 tournaments, 5 wins. 5-5 is still better for her than what we've seen in previous stretches. But after a quick rebound, she's right back and now actually seen in the lowest rank we've ever seen her in. Not a good stretch by any means. I was a little surprised by this one. Kostenseva being forced into a Premier 1000 tournament, massive tournament. The only good news about this is I was trying to do a lot of training, and I had only scheduled 2 World Tour tournaments during this stretch, and I think 2 junior tournaments, and then all training otherwise. This happens to replace one of those World Tour tournaments where we would have had a 80 level tournament, so at least it didn't add to the calendar, it just bumped something, and we're able to keep our 4 tournaments only for that entire final chunk of the year. Big training week for both Kostenseva and Ita. Agility and backhand accuracy +1 for Kostenseva, reflexes and backhand power for Ita, both on the rise. There's a good 4 or 5 major junior tournaments down the stretch for the end of the season that really sets up those final rankings. For Kostenseva, we're only going to be in 1 or 2 of those. Just enough to secure some points to make sure we keep our gap, keep our sharpness. For this one, Kostenseva, number 1 seed. Ita enters as the 3 seed. She's also jumped to 4th in the rankings now as she continues to find success tournament after tournament at the junior level. Into the semifinals, and a great opportunity to see both of our junior players face off yet again for the 4th time, and for the 2nd time in a final of a large tournament. In this case, yes, junior tournament, but still, great opportunity here. I'm hoping that both make it to the final. This might be a major for the juniors, but it's not a Grand Slam, so we're not going to simulate this one, just the quick sim. But it is yet another head-to-head matchup. Both of our players do qualify for the final. Ita, who by the way is 18, so she is going to be moving permanently into the World Tour ranks here shortly. She's a little bit older. 6-1 head-to-head. Kostenseva with a strong edge, and she's won all of the previous matchups that we've done since having both of them on our docket. And here, yet another win for Kostenseva, who is definitely more developed than Ita at this point. 6-2, 6-4 with the win, 21 unforced errors, but 34 winners is enough to see her way to another tournament victory. But Ita, again, it's good for the rankings, and I think Ita is now firmly on her way to qualifying for the junior finals. You have got to be kidding me. Massive tournament. It's the round of 128. All your top players here. And Kostenseva and Ann Lowell have drawn each other. This is going to be, as far as I know, the first time that they have ever played. And at least we know one will get out of the first round. But ouch. Ann should be the favorite here, but we'll see if that actually comes. Yeah, no head-to-head matches Anne, with terrible form, really struggling, quite possibly in her final season with us, even though we're going to give away some money in terms of her sponsorship stuff in doing so. But I'm kind of done with the headache that is Anne Lowell, and I'd like to see us develop another young athlete and see how that goes. Let's go ahead and simulate, see what happens. On paper, Anne's good. Never seems to get a win, but here she does. 5-7, 2-6. She beats Kostenseva in their first head-to-head matchup. The players both actually kind of struggling a bit. This was kind of close, even though scoreline doesn't totally suggest it, but looking at the additional match stats, not much in that one. Anne gets through the next round, but then out in the round of 32. At least she got one win there because Jeter was a fairly high-ranked player, so to get a couple wins for Anne was good for her morale. Well, her morale hasn't been an issue. She's confident. She just hasn't played well. Ita +1 on anticipation, though she was less than a percentage point away from it anyway. Ita claims victory in a Rookie 50 tournament, so good result for her. And meanwhile, Kostenseva improves her balance by 1 more point. Another tournament win for Ita, who's been very busy, very active, not training as much. She's a late bloomer. So we're really working on those junior rankings and then slowly boosting her World Tour status. But this is a 500 level in Osaka, and she comes away with the tournament victory. So I think she's firmly planted now in the top 5, easily going to make that finals tournament, and could have an advantage seed for that first round at least. With just 1 tournament win in 5 appearances at the 80 level, Kostenseva, again, 1 seed, but she hasn't had a great success rate with these, so let's see if she can come out on top this time. She's already in the round of 16 after a first round bye. We'll see how she does. Tight 3rd round contest, but it's a win, 7-5, 6-4. Semi-final against the 4 seed, but they're ranked 210. They're not too high in the rankings. We'll see how we do in this one. Oof, another close one, 6-1. Lose 3-6, but then we do come away with a very close 3rd set, 7-6 in the tiebreak with the winner. 55 total winners to get this one, but 34 unforced errors. But the opponent was also sloppy with 32 unforced errors of their own. We do have to play the 2 seed here in the final. At the same time, Ita is in another 500 level junior tournament, a back-to-back here late in the season. Like I said, there's a lot of those. And Ita is in the final for that one, so we'll check in to see how she did, if she can win back-to-back major junior tournaments. Close, but it is a victory for Kostenseva, just her 2nd in these 80 level World Tour tournaments. 2-6, 6-4, 7-6, 7 points given up. I mean, this is neck and neck, so close to who was going to win this tournament. They really battled it out right to the end. Kostenseva only 48% of total points won, and yet she wins the tournament. 9 double faults, 35 unforced errors, fewer winners. I mean, she should have lost this looking at the stats. So very, very fortunate to come away with the tournament victory, but it is her 2nd now at the level. Ita also claiming victory in her tournament, so really good payout between the 2. Ironically, the junior major paid out better than the 80 level international tournament. That's kind of sad that happens, but those 500 level, I mean, that's the biggest tournaments besides Grand Slams, where 80 level is still only just getting into international competition. It's still a fairly small tournament, and there's lots of them out there, so I get it that it doesn't necessarily pay out quite as well. The intermediate step in between full World Tour status and a junior player, of course you have the junior finals, and that's kind of the big focus there. But when you're in that intermediate area where you're playing at the World Tour level fairly regularly, but you're not yet going to Grand Slams and winning tournaments or anything like that, that's the next gen classification. And they have their own little mini tournament for the top 8 in that qualification. And if you are anywhere in that top 8, you automatically qualify and you must participate in the next gen finals. Corey Goff, former target of ours who doesn't want to sign with us, is the leader of these rankings. And Kostenseva, who has now just turned 18, ranked 4th. She's moved ahead of Fernvides, just recently. 590 points now accumulated, mostly within the last 12 months. I'd say maybe 13 months since we first put her in a World Tour tournament. And Kasanseva, yeah, that's a good first year. Katrina Scout just into the rankings, another target of ours that we had, sitting at number 8. Ita, meanwhile, with very few tournaments played at this level, sits 20th. Also of note, Kasanseva, number 1, still obviously for the junior finals. Chager is number 2, and Ita has jumped. Frifritova has not been playing any junior tournaments at all. We haven't seen her whatsoever, so she's fallen off to number 6. But Ita is up to 3rd in the rankings, and both have been accepted for the junior finals, which is now just 2-3 weeks away. So big tournaments, end of season tournaments ahead of us. Let's see how we do. Well, that is unlucky. Kasanseva has passed Fernvides in the rankings. However, Fernvides keeps the 4 seed. Kasanseva gets the 5 seed, and a much more difficult matchup for her up against the 3 seed, Amoigwe. So, yeah, good luck to us, as there's kind of 3 standout players, and now we're stuck playing against one of them. They've never gone up head-to-head. It is a big tournament, but I have low expectations this year for the Next Gen Finals. Next year, we'll look to do more. I mean, we're going to be in the Next Gen Finals going on for a while yet. You'd see a 21-year-old here. I don't know if it's in under 23s category or just in under 21s, but either way, just turning 18, Kasanseva still has plenty of time to come back and participate in this one. So the quick sim, it's a best of 5 sets, and it's short sets though. First one, 3-4 on tiebreakers, we lose. 1-4, and then we battle back 4-3, not giving up any points in the tiebreak. 4-1, setting it all the way to the 5th set, but we lose 2-4. 48 total winners, we win there, but 41 unforced errors to 15. That's where we lost it. 49% on the points won, but we just gave away too much, and we're out in the quarterfinals. Ita, 3rd straight week in a junior 500. This time she gets to the finals and loses, but that's 3 straight finals appearances, and again, that's really good for her position now in the junior rankings. And made it to the semis of a World Tour 160 tournament, so that's progress. It's better than what she's done. Also, I just reached level 4 as a hardened manager now, so I've been in the game for a while. Ita leveling up her tactical skills this week. Kasanseva leveling up her footwork this week. All right, folks, we're here. It's the junior finals. We start with the quarterfinals. It's the top 8. Not quite the top 8. It looks like there's a couple not present. And look who we get in the first round in the quarterfinal. It's Frifritova, who slipped to 6th and has not really done any junior stuff at all. So we'll see how we do in this one. Has she developed? Has she gotten better? Of late, we've beaten her pretty regularly. I mean, later half of last year. Ita in the 3 seed. She's got Ayala in the opener. So she's going to have to face Chager in the semifinal. That's a difficult ask, but I like Kasanseva's chances, of course, to reach the final and potentially win. I think Chager is the most likely to reach the final otherwise. Ita to the semifinal. Adrieva, probably, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the higher seeds should go through. Will they all make it? Let's find out for this first one. 6-2 all-time against Frifritova. And it's Frifritova on Kasanseva all season long. It's built towards what do we do with this final? And she takes it. 3-6, 5-7. She gets her butt handed to her by Frifritova with 36 unforced errors. She beat herself. She absolutely beat herself up. 6 double faults. That was 100% on her. Oh my goodness. Ita also knocked out in the first round. They both go down as losers. Ouch. Ouch. That hurts. That really hurts, folks. So Kasanseva loses to Frifritova. And then Ayala beats Ita after Ita wins the first set comfortably 6-1. Brett Moyer forfeits 2 forfeits in the quarterfinals, by the way. And then the semifinals, it's Fritfritova moving on. And then it's Ayala beating Chager with the upset. And so it ends up the 2 opponents we had that beat us in the quarterfinals, who both end up qualifying for the finals. And our rival, Fritfritova, the most regularly played opponent we've had, the one who we displaced to take over as the number 1 player in the junior level a season ago, but we lost this tournament in the semis, I want to say it was. And here we are again losing this tournament. This was the missing element. Considering it was a 6 and 5 seed, it wasn't Chager who went through. I think there's nothing to fear about keeping that number 1 rank for the end of the season here, but it's still a loss in the tournament that I really wanted to win. Really sucks, but it is what it is. We're going to focus solely on World Tour level next year. So outside of maybe some junior Grand Slams, if we don't qualify for the senior ones, Kasanseva is on to new heights. Ita, on the other hand, well, she was 18. So is she still going to qualify for the juniors next year? It depends on when her birthday was. I don't know when it was. So she may not even be back at this level. We'll see. I'm Decathlon Gamer. That's going to do it for this episode. We're hitting the end of the season. We'll get some feedback on final rankings and whatnot at the start of our next episode. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.